Hi guys, welcome back to the Kellner Chronicles, episode 5, and a very special episode for a bank holiday weekend. We're going to be doing with the customs and cultures of the Philippines, what basically Filipinos do on a general basis, which we may find something different to what we're used to. Today with me is my lovely wife Lucy.
Hi.
And we're going to be discussing these customs and cultures together. For those who don't know, a bank holiday weekend is a UK thing where basically you have a Monday off. The shops are closed. Most of the shops are closed and the banks are definitely closed. It's generally for special occasions and for festive days. So basically we've got the extra day. So we're going to do a bank holiday weekend special. So in a moment, we'll be coming online and we will be talking about everything to do with cultures and customs. So bear with us. We'll roll credits and then we'll get started. Okay, welcome back. Right, today's cultures list. We're going to start with different things that we may not be used to, in the West or Western countries or even Australia, New Zealand. Basically, it could be a bit unusual for us. I mean, I've got used to it over time. When I first went to the Philippines, I was completely out of my depth. And if it wasn't for Lucy, I'd still be there now. Okay, so today we're going to discuss different things. Now, the first thing we're going to discuss is eating habits. Okay? Now, normally, obviously, we in the West are used to eating with knives and forks, and Asian countries are used to eating with chopsticks, but the Filipinos do it two ways. They usually have the fork and spoon, or
Use our hands. We eat our hand like that. We had a taboo to wash our hand and then you just eat it. That's it. And it's so nice to eat in our hands,
Okay. Basically, instead of just using a knife and fork, they'll use a fork and spoon. And generally, if they're at home, mostly, they'll eat together as a group, as a family. And obviously, you won't see any spoons or forks. You'll see hands, well washed. And they basically eat, they'll put the rice together with their hands and they'll eat it as one with the meat or whatever.
Like that.
Yeah, like that. With the sound effects and everything, look. So, yeah, I mean, we may find it in the West a bit strange. People who've traveled before won't find it so strange, but in the West we might see it as unusual. However, this is a standard thing in the Philippines. It took me a while to get used to because the only thing I ever ate with my hands was ribs or chicken or whatever, the usual stuff, your KFCs, no promotion there, KFCs or anything with your hands. But they will eat their rice, and what we would usually use a fork or a spoon for, they will use their hands. And there's nothing wrong with it, because I've also got used to doing the same thing. Okay, now we're going to hit the big one. One thing you'll find that in the West, potatoes and tubal vegetables and things are the normal staple diets.
Bacon.
Like well, not so much bacon, but the most important vegetable to the Filipinos, and I'm going to let my wife say it,
rice is life.
Rice?
Always
rice is life.
Breakfast rice, snack rice, lunch rice, another breakfast snack in the afternoon rice, and then dinner rice also. Everything is rice.
Okay.
That's why we call it rice is life.
They have so many varieties of rice in the Philippines. To this day, I'm still surprised. I mean, I've seen every kind known to man. Corn rice, yellow rice, basmati, all sorts of weird, and one NFA rice, the famous NFA rice.
NFA rice as well.
Yeah, that's an NFA.
NFA rice.
Yeah, so that's more a government issued sort of rice.
Yeah, it's smell. I don't
like it.
It's
not very good. However, my wife's a very big connoisseur of the rice. We will actually go hunting to different markets to find the rice that my wife finds best. Rice is definitely life there, and yeah, it is eaten on such a huge scale, and all through the day. I mean, I've tried and I just can't. Don't get me wrong, I love rice, but there's only so much I can eat. It just bloats me out, and then I have all sorts of digestive problems. I'm not going to go into that one. She'll know, she'll laugh at that actually. Right? Moving on from that, let's have a look at one of the traditional sports of the Philippines. Sports, I don't really think it's a sport, but it's like a pastime / gambling
Every
thing.
Sunday, yeah.
Every Sunday, you have the legal versions and the illegal versions. These are cockpits. Yeah, excuse the pun, cockpits. We know it's funny. What it is actually cockfighting.
Imagine that, cockfighting.
There might be children watching. Right.
And we call it sabong also. In Filipino is sabong. Normally they have a chicken. Everybody is and the
Rooster,
barangay.
fighting rooster.
Yeah. And they bring their own chicken there or
Rooster.
roaster or sonoy. We call it sonoy in Visaya. And then they bring it all together and then they will decide that they're gonna have a fight on it. It's just, it's they just go together. They are in one place, they are around on that one, and then they try to sabong, yeah. And then you will see they have already money there. Give already money, patulo, whatever is that, I don't know. And they are already have if who is the one who's winning. Then after that, if who lost, they gonna cut the chicken, get the legs, get the wings, and get like that. Give it to it's like it's like that.
Okay, for us in the West, that would be considered really bad, in the same level as bullfighting or dog baiting or things like that. I mean, it is quite a severe sport there for them, or pastime. For me, I've never been to see one. I refuse to go to see one, and I actually don't like it. Because at the end of the day, I mean, I have no problem if I have to slaughter an animal, though this will probably piss off a lot of people. If I have to slaughter an animal for food, is one thing. But to gamble on them, to, watch them fight themselves to death, to gamble them, I really don't like. But that's just me. But it's one of the things that if you do go to the Philippines, you've got to be wary of. This is their sport or their pastime, and we've got to be careful because we're not in our country, and that our opinions may be one thing, and we've got to keep them to ourselves. So basically, if you see any going around, I would suggest you walk away and ignore it, but just don't get involved.
No, just watch it. And most of them also, while they are doing the cockfight on that, there is a red horse or a tuba on the side.
Tuba being coconut wine.
Yeah.
Okay.
So always have like that.
Red Horse is the local beer, which is actually very nice and very strong. Tuba is the coconut wine, or they'll have Tanduay rum.
Yeah.
And they'll be drinking whilst they're gambling, whilst they're betting, whilst they're fighting. And I've actually seen fist fights break out because somebody did not agree with the other guy because he reckoned his rooster had won the fight, God knows what. And we've seen fights break out. I mean, they've had illegal sessions outside of our house.
Oh, I remember one time there is a cockfight at the back on our house, and then our cooking area, the firewood, and then there is a police coming, and then they throw all their chicken under on our firewood thing so that they hide it in there. So I was laughing on that time because on that time I'm selling some drinks or something. So they throw their chicken under on our firewood. So that is really funny. The first time I saw it, and I want to call to the police, but they said to me like that, so quiet. So
it's basically the same. It's the same sort of principle as a drug dealer trying to throw his stash or hide his stash from the police whilst going on the run. So these guys, they throw a live rooster or chicken underneath some firewood to try to hide them, then come back for them later. And they're trying to, because if the police catch you there with the rooster, you're in trouble. It's an interesting thing. Okay, we're going to move on. We're going to go to one of the actual pastimes which you can enjoy and can't get involved in if you don't come out of there with ringing ears. And we call it karaoke. They know it as videoke because karaoke, the Japanese claim the invention of, yet the Filipinos claim they invented videoke way before the Japanese did karaoke. A fight for another time. However, in every house on a Sunday, nearly every house you go to, there'll be some form of videoke, either the paid machines or a household device. Right? And you will have the whole family plus neighbors and their cousins and their uncles, And they all sing. Now, one thing, a lot of Filipinos are very good singers. Understand that. You'll hear some amazing voices. My stepdaughter is one of them. However, you will also find the drunken idiots
Annoying.
who can't sing for crap, and they actually think they're Tom Jones on acid.
Yeah.
And that is where you need ear defenders. You really do. And because otherwise, I've actually sat on the veranda
You need to
with my
use-
wife and we've been laughing.
You need to use to it also from morning until nighttime, until 9, 10 o'clock in the evening. They will just be karaoke.
And you
Non-stop.
really, and they have massive
That's
speakers.
normal Filipino.
They have massive speakers with very
Yeah.
high wattage, and there's nothing you can do. You can't even complain about it because they're not going to stop anyway.
Yeah, you cannot complain until past 10 or something like that. If in the middle of the night, yes, you can complain.
Right.
Yeah.
Let's go to parties. Filipino parties are generally the same sort of thing across the board. However, you'll see that if you've invited 20 people to the party, how many turn up, honey?
Don't expect that only 20 will come to your house. So you need to prepare all your food that it's like, for example, you have your party is like it's minimum. You expect like 100 people. So don't expect that 100 people only. Expect it's at least 250. Because
Easily.
this
That's not a
one
lie.
person, for example, you invite one, they will bring 5 or 10 people on that. That is already expectation already that it's already there. We know that already. So if you cook some food, don't cook only for 200 or 100 people. Cook for 500 because it will not be enough. That's
Well, your last March, not this March gone, but the
Yeah.
previous one.
the one on my birthday.
Yeah, we had her birthday party. We had invited maybe about 100 and, 120,
Yeah, more than
130
100, yeah.
people. And we had tables for us many. We even invited the local mayors, 2 of them. And we had a great time. There was police chiefs there and everything.
150
And-
chairs I read.
Yeah, 150 chairs you rent. And we even had a live band. So during the day, there was at least 300 to 400 people turning up at a time.
Yeah.
And then in the evening, that number doubled. It wasn't just
Oh.
inside the compound. It was outside. And I couldn't believe it because when I went outside to have a look, I could not believe it. And people started walking away, so I told them not to bother going. Now, the irony was we had a live band there and they were really good. And these people hadn't just come for the food and the drink. They had come to see the live band because they don't really see it there. So it was a bit of an experience for them. And we got so much nice well wishes and greetings afterwards. I mean, we had a great time. But yeah, half the people we didn't know, if not most of them. And that's what surprised us was that we didn't know them. They came from everywhere.
That's normal for us in a Philippine
Right.
Filipino that fiesta. Even they don't invite you. The party will not invite you, but you don't need to ask to invite. Just go there. Especially if you're a friend, especially if you're a family, don't need to ask you to invite to come to the parties. You are there, just go. You are family, you are friend, just go to the party. No need to bring some invitation later, especially wedding or something like that. No need to send it by invitation. Just go.
Even
You
the
can.
local dustman will turn up. Okay, let's go. We're going to carry on with fiestas. I'm going to jump to a second. We're going to carry on with fiestas. One of the things you'll find with fiestas and parties in the Philippines is there'll be a fiesta and a party for every occasion.
Yes.
Okay? That'll be lechon, which is the roasted suckling pig. There will be all sorts of foods there, and it's always generally the same sort of
Yeah.
foods. So get used to that idea. There are some variations, but very few. And you have your traditional fruit salads with buko, which is coconut. And that's actually one of my favorites. I mean, not that you
And
couldn't
the
tell.
leche plan.
And the leche flan, which is obviously like a half normal flan, but it's better.
Yeah.
Okay, now the problem with the parties is you will have them for every occasion. Not only birthdays or weddings or, what's it called? What we missed this year? Graduations or for
Anniversary.
but you
Baptismal
go
and
baptismals,
everything.
yeah. We go a little bit further.
Yeah.
And in this case, they also have them for funerals, like our wakes.
Funerals, yeah.
But instead of our wakes, which is a very somber occasion, in the Philippines it's a very loud occasion. Now, Going with that, these funerals, there is something else you'll find with them, because this goes one with the other. With the funerals, there's another sort of traditional thing that they do, which we would not do in the West. And it's only a very recent tradition, but it's still a tradition, okay? Since the advent of photography and the availability of cameras all through from the last century, the Filipinos have been taking film footage and also photographs of funerals. A lot of us may consider that bad. A lot of us may consider it disrespectful or even sacrilege to some reason, but it's not for them. So if you see a Filipino taking a photograph or video footage at a funeral, please don't be offended. This is normal. Okay, we've seen it here in Gibraltar. We've had a Filipino father taking photographs of his daughter's funeral, and I've actually had to step in and stop some people from getting badly offended and taking a shots at him. So I had to explain that it's their culture. This is something that's not us. This is them. So we've got to respect that. So if you do end up having to go to a funeral or bypassing one, and you see someone taking photographs or video footage, don't be offended. It's normal for them.
Yeah, and also it's normal to have gambling every night, because so that somebody will stay in the nighttime, overnight, in the funeral. So that's why it's really, it's just, that's normal for us to have a lot of visitor, even anyone that you don't know. You don't see this person for how many years, and then if there is a funeral, they will come there if they know. That's normal for us.
Oh, your mother's funeral,
Yeah.
unfortunately,
Yeah.
saw a lot of that, didn't they?
Oh, there's a lot of people that I really don't see them in. But yeah, it's just it's
The
just
bad
thankful.
pennies turning up. Yeah.
Be thankful that all these people remember, see this the last day of my mother, really.
Right, we're going to jump on to Habal Habal,
Oh,
one
yeah.
of my wife's favorites. The one thing that shocked me the most in the Philippines, I always thought it was a joke. I thought it was a lie. I thought it wasn't real until my wife pointed it out to me on one of my first trip over there. We came to Dumaguete, where my wife lives, after being in Manila for a few days, and I got the shock of my life. I actually saw.
That is the first time you've been.
Yeah. And I couldn't believe it. There was a small motorcycle, maybe an 80 or 100cc motorcycle, with a plank of wood laid across the seat, lengthwise over, so handlebars up the front, and this plank of wood over the seat. There's 3 people sitting down on the main seat, 1 kid on either plank of wood, plus a child in a bucket.
In front.
In front on a bucket, in a bucket. I tell you no lies. That is the truth. And I was gobsmacked. This is a normal thing in the Philippines. A motorcycle is the equivalent of a family car. Okay? And they use it as such. And they're very inventive. They will find a way of putting a child or a passenger on the mudguard, the front mudguard of the front wheel. So if you see that, don't be surprised. It happens. It's normal for them. For me, I got the shock of my life.
Especially in the mountain area.
Oh,
But in the city, because normally they don't allow it already now, so because it's limit already. If how many person, I think 1 only now.
Yeah, but I think
If the police will not see it.
I think in the back roads, the smaller roads and the back roads, you're going to see it more, especially like in the vicinity areas. So you're going to see that. I mean, obviously towards the bigger city on the main highways, you won't see it much. But in the smaller roads, you definitely will. And they have no shame, seriously. And the balance, how you get 6 people on a bike and not have it collapse on you is beyond me. Okay, we're going to move on to Sunday fun in the Philippines.
Oh.
Sunday's the big one, isn't it?
Sunday is like every Sunday is like a party on us. We had the barbecue, we have the sugba or whatever. There we go in the beach, we go and just get together everybody, because no work, mostly no work. Most people don't work on Sunday there. That's before. But now some they work already because for money. But that for normal, it's Sunday is a beach day or race day and barbecue day, and everybody is get together, and everyone in the house, the neighbor will go in the outside in the house is like talking, chismis, making doing the chismis.
The gossip.
Yeah, it's normal for us on that. We carry our coffee, or don't have even coffee yet. You don't even brush your, don't even brush your teeth, not even wash your face, but it's already there. They're already talking, gossiping already early morning. That's normal for some people there. So don't surprise.
Don't be surprised. It's funny because I'm always surprised because I always have to wonder on a Saturday night when I would normally go out, or a Friday night, which is normal for us to go out.
Yeah.
We tend not to go out so much. But then all of a sudden, on a Saturday evening, my wife will come to me, what do you want to do tomorrow? Do you want to go to the beach? Do you want to go to the waterfalls? Do you want to go into the countryside? Do you want to go for a drive? And there's always something. And, usually the whole family gets involved. And usually when I take the truck out, they're all stuck in the truck, 20 or 30 people later.
If I think to go to the beach, don't expect that you and I or only the kids will go. There's how many people already will go with us, or we send some message from our other friend, and then they will turn up. They bring something.
And there are those friends that will see us start to get the truck ready, and will try to invite themselves.
Yeah.
Without a word to us.
Yes.
They'll be waiting at the gates.
Yeah.
With all their stuff for the beach.
Yes.
All right? Without having it said. And then as we're pulling out the driveway, it'll be, there, can we go with you? And I'll be like, really? Where the hell are they going to go? So you can imagine the truck. The frustration I've got on this is you get so many people in the truck. And I'm always worried somebody's going to fall out because they don't follow my instructions of not sitting on the edges. There's nowhere really to grip. And I'm always scared that with the traffic in Dumaguete, or even in the provincial areas, it's always dangerous. Maybe I have to brake sharply or whatever, and we lose one over the top. And it has happened. So, yeah, get used to this. Sundays is the fun day for the guys. Right. We're going to move on now. We're going to move on to sleeping.
Sleep early.
Very early.
7 o'clock, or
Let's put it this way: I don't see many
starting to
many locals being awake after about 9, 10 o'clock at night. It's usually much earlier than that. They go to sleep during the week, and they are up very early, 5 and 6 in the morning.
4 or 5. You heard already their caldero, their pot. They're already cooking.
Yeah, 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning, and they're already up.
Awake. Yeah.
I mean, it's not the same for us. I mean, for us, we would get up at 7, 8, 9.
Especially there's a school.
Yeah. But generally during the week, you're going to see that. And even on a Sunday, if you plan to sleep on a Sunday late, forget it. The latest you're going to be asleep is about 7 a.m. because they'll start with the music and you will be up.
Yeah.
I always am, and it's frustrating at times.
Imagine me if I am in the house. I'm already. I didn't wake up early. Because I woke up 4:30 to 5 o'clock in the morning, and then what I gonna do is I play in the big speaker on there, the Siren music. Wow, wow, wow. And everybody's getting up and they think, there is a fire on the outside.
My wife has a nasty habit of enjoying revenge. Knowing that the size of our speakers, if the neighbors wind her up by waking her up, there will be revenge, and it won't be pretty.
Yeah.
Trust me.
Very loud.
She will get our speakers out, and we've got very large, high wattage, high-powered speakers with a massive amplifier, and I can assure you, the wife is not scared to use it.
Yeah.
She will blast it out at full blast, even if it wakes me up. You don't give a shit. Sorry, excuse the language.
Yeah.
Right.
So the last time, I did it the last time. They're running outside everyone.
Right. There are 3 other little bits I'm going to bring to your attention so that you know. One of the popular dishes which we would find odd in the Philippines as a snack is a thing called manga. Manga is generally unripe mangoes.
Mango with bagoong.
Yeah. It's usually served chopped, and it's served with bagoong. Would you please explain to the audience what bagoong is?
Bagoong is like a shrimp paste.
Fermented shrimp paste.
Yeah, that's the one. Bagoong alamang.
I think we've got it in the thing there. Can you just have a look? Oh, is it in the fridge?
It's here.
Right, okay.
This
You'd
one.
like to show it up close to the camera?
This is the one. We have this all the time in the mango.
Brown in color.
Yeah.
And they usually dip their slices of mango,
Oh, with chili, with spicy.
yeah,
so
and
yummy.
with vinegars and chilies and spices.
It's
So
very nice.
that they have a lot. My stepdaughter loves it. She shouldn't really eat it because it makes her ill. But she doesn't listen.
And the other one more.
Right, we've got two more. We're going to do a Sabon first, which is soap. When you're using soap for your dishes, you would probably use the squeezy bottle soaps that come, fairy liquids or whatever, or Persil or whatever that you use for washing your dishes. That for us is standard. It's probably standard in the States and Australia and New Zealand. Probably the rest of the world. But in the Philippines, it's something a bit different. One soap does everything. Okay?
For the clothes, for the dish, for
Yeah.
everything.
They have these bars of soap which are like
Tide.
compressed Tide or compressed Ariel or, sorry to mention names, but I don't know how to say it other way. Powdered detergent, and it's compressed so tightly that it makes a bar. Okay? And they come in really long strips and you have to break them down.
Into 4.
Yeah, and these bars are used to wash your clothes. That same bar can also be used to wash your dishes. Yeah.
Everything.
And if necessary, your body.
Yeah.
If there's no other soap, like Safeguard or
Yeah.
whatever else they have. So, yeah, Sabon, it's quite always amusing because whenever we go shopping, instead of buying liquid, washing up liquid, my wife will buy bars of this. And my face just drops because I'm used to using liquid soap. So it's still soap, it still cleans. If it works, who cares?
And also,
Right, the final one. Do you want to dig it out? This is
yeah,
amazing.
the tabo.
Tabo. If you give us a second. All right. Tabo is I'll explain it. It looks like a plastic cooking pot.
Yeah.
Yeah? One with a handle and a thing. It's made out of plastic. A tabo. Would you like to go with that one?
Yeah, because not everyone have a shower there. So we had our in the faucet we had all this
Tap.
baldi. No, tap. We had the baldi, the bucket. We call it baldi, bucket one, and then we have the tabo. So we shower like that. We use it like this, and there is no hot water in there. If you want hot water, boil the water in the pot and in the.
Yeah, it's done. It's done cold. Basically,
Yeah,
what you do
so-
is you would have a bucket filled with water,
Yeah.
continuously flowing tap or faucet,
Yeah.
so that would keep refilling, and you would cover yourself up, soak yourself in water with a towel, throwing loads over yourself.
And if you're lucky, also you're gonna run out the water.
Yeah, you stay soaked up.
Yeah.
And then you'd lather up your body, you'd wash yourself properly, and then you'd throw the water onto your body to rinse off. Basically like a shower, but with that. But the tabo is also used for your personal needs when you've gone to the loo,
Yeah.
as there isn't much use of TP there. It's becoming more popular, TP, but it's not that popular. You would use a tabo to wash your
For everything.
for your
Tabo and
behind,
bucket is everything.
right?
Don't expect that there is a tissue all the toilet there. Don't expect that. We have the tabo and the bucket. So that's all. You use it all for everything.
And you have to get used to that. I mean,
Yeah.
it's different if you go to a hotel,
Yeah.
a good quality hotel, they will have TP. If you go to a good boarding house, they may have TP. You may have to buy some.
Yeah.
Or, unfortunately, you would be stuck with the tabo and have to make do the best way you can. So, yeah, those are some of the fun things that you find in the Philippines. Some things for you not to get confused about or upset. Just get used to the idea that when in Rome, do as the Romans do. I mean, you can buy TP there. You can buy different kinds of soaps there. It's not as if they don't have them. It's just how they use them culturally. So don't be offended. Don't be upset. Just get used to it because that's what there is.
Yeah.
And that's basically all from us for today at the Kellner Chronicles. And we're happy to see you and be back with you soon. So for episode 6, we are now off. And we're out of here. Bye-bye.
Thank you guys. Thanks for watching.